All right, everybody man up. Everybody get on your tractors.
On October 30th, 2016, over 250 consumers, farmers, and leaders in the organic movement came together in East Thetford, Vermont, to insist that the National Organic Program keep the soil inorganic and not allow hydroponically grown produce to be certified as organic.
We got it? Hello, everybody! Who's got soil? This is a really important day to send a really strong message to all of the players in Washington, D.C., the USDA, the National Organic Program, that we want to keep the soil inorganic. And just to be clear for all those hydroponic producers out there, we're not anti-hydroponic. We just don't want it to be called organic.
Nothing against hydroponic farming, but I know the fight I had to go through to get the original organic farm legislation through. I want organic to mean organic to mean organic. Would you agree with that?
Hydroponic, is it organic? Well, when it's grown in Mexico, there's a law in Mexico that says you can't sell it in Mexico as organic, but you can export it to the U.S. where it's called organic. If you do it in Holland, or you do it in Japan, or you do it in Canada, there's laws in all of those states and all the European Union that says, sure, you can do hydroponic, but if you want to call it organic, export it to the U.S. They're suckers, okay? I'm not against hydroponic, none of us are, but I am against freeloading and free riding, and that's essentially what's happened. You've got folks out there, including in big ag, who want a free ride and basically get the benefit of the hard work that organic farmers do to pile on and take some of that market share with a label that wasn't earned. So this is not so much about complaining about the hydroponics. It's about reasserting the absolutely important value of what real organic means.
In case you don't know, there are 1,200 lobbyists on the Hill that work for the agriculture and food processing industry. They spend about $350 million a year on forming opinions in Washington, and that's more than the defense industry, so don't underestimate their power. And they would be very happy to have a lot of variations on this, to fool you to think that natural included GMO food. They would like to change a lot of things, water down this brand, and the consumer will be completely confused. As you know, people already are confused about, well, is it sustainable, organic, natural? What should I buy at the store? So this is critically important.
We've got to speak up or we are going to lose organic. We're losing it now. You know, in 5 years, if we don't do anything, all the organic tomatoes in the stores are going to be hydroponic. All the organic berries are going to be hydroponic. And there's no way of knowing. So if you don't want to buy hydroponic, certified as organic, there's no way of telling. I know this sounds like crazy talk, but it isn't. It isn't. The hydroponic industry is for real. It's a big time thing, and they are desperate for our market. So if we don't speak up and really raise a fuss, I think we're going to lose organic. We're going to have to start something else, start over again. I don't want to do that. None of us do. We worked all our lives on this.
My name is Tom Beddard. I am the owner of Lady Moon Farms. We are the largest certified organic vegetable grower east of the Mississippi. There is one massive way you tell hydroponic from soil, and that's taste. Here, here. What I want you to take away from this, this is politics now. It's in the political realm. You've got to make your voice heard through the NOSB. That's the only thing the NOP hears is numbers and noise. And money is very, very loud.
Organic has always meant grown in the soil. And the USDA National Organic Program is wrong. But unfortunately, they have the power to be wrong. And they are heavily influenced by the hydroponic industry. By certifying hydroponic as organic, the USDA is basically saying, see, just like we told you, soil is not important. We can do it all with soluble fertilizers, as we have always claimed. Even organic farming agrees. We just can't allow that to happen. We cannot allow the USDA to so easily dismiss 100 years of progress toward a bio-rational agriculture. We created the success of organic farming against massive opposition, and we, the creators, refuse to see the promise of organic farming compromised by profiteers.
Regeneration is trying to take the emissions that have already been produced and put them back in the soil. We know that we can do that with organic farming, and you can't do it with conventional farming, because the way conventional farmers farm is they farm with nitrogen fertilizer, and it destroys soil organic matter. And soil organic matter is 58% carbon. So we're the solution to climate change. So we're talking about hydroponics. How are we going to sequester any carbon in water? We're not. It's like that's a joke. Hydroponic is going backwards.
William Albrecht said, "The soil is the creative material of most of the basic needs of life. Creation starts with a handful of soil." Sir Albert Howard, "The health of soil, plant, animal, and man is one and indivisible." Niall Brady, "The Nature and Property of Soils," which was just a textbook, a soil textbook. "Man is dependent on soils. Soils are the natural bodies on which plants grow." You know, we have a right to this term organic. We have a right. I have a right. I've been doing this all my goddamn life, you know? And I have a right, and we all have a right to keep that, the purity of that original thought. And that original thought came from some of these wise people. We have a right to that continuity. And this hydroponic bullshit is like, I mean, it's a perversion.
Organic without soil is like democracy without people. We all know and value that the microbes and little critters and all the things that happen in our soil is a combined ecosystem that makes food possible. And so when there are those out there that want to sort of change our food system into just a function of economics, they've really lost grasp of what we all hold near and dear. We are all interconnected, and our soil is interconnected with our plants. And when we move away from that connectivity, we've lost sight and lost connection to our own soul.
To shortcut and say, well, we can do without the soil, we can just do with chemical substrates, even if they're organic, even if they're certifiable. Without the soil, without the microbes, without that complex interaction that we barely understand, it's one more step in the road down industrial farming, even if it's, you know, doesn't use the traditional toxins.
The main tenet of organic farming is soil and microbes, and that's the opposite of hydroponics.
The organic standards talk about soil. They don't talk about energized vitamin water. And USDA has gone through a totally illegal process. The NOSB made recommendations in 2010, and they said no, not for hydroponics to be allowed. The National Organic Program did not respond. They just let it go, and they let it go behind the scenes. And that's wrong. For all the 40 years that I've been involved in organic farming, I'm not willing to let this group of people take it away.
Get involved today at keepthesoilandorganic.org.